Good afternoon.
Hi. What would you say is the added value of the TPRC for Toray Advanced Composites?
The added value, there's a lot. And actually this started in 2007, as Remco already said. We started to discuss with Boeing, University of Twente and Fokker about sharing our knowledge, about sharing our resources, about sharing our problems and our ideas. And that is what the TPRC has brought us, a good communication tool to align in the value chain, to make sure that if we want to mature this technology, if we want to grow it, that we are talking the same language, that all of our actions are aligned, that we understand each other. And TPRC plays a fundamental role in that, to connect all of these dots. And that is a part technology, but there's also a lot of people involved, a network. The example that you just had with the PhD who graduated at the TPRC, who built up a lot of experience in the TPRC about the technology, is now working for us, and we are benefiting from that. But he also has his network that he built up in the center on all kinds of topics, so he can reach out to other specialists, to fellow PhDs, to researchers, but also to partners that he knows from that time. So yeah, we benefit from both the content, but also from the network.
Yes, and how would you describe the cooperation, knowing that there might be competitive sensitivities?
Yeah, that's of course always tricky, understand that. So from the onset we said you don't have to bring in something if you have it. But if you have something that you feel that needs to mature further and that you better do together than on your own, then bring it in. But you don't have to bring in anything. And do your key developments in-house. And every partner is doing that, but they are using the knowledge that we built up together. That's the core that we have to share to make this a standard technology in the market. Otherwise, everybody will fail. So for us, it's also better to have a small piece of a large cake than the big piece of a very small cake. And this technology is a couple of decades old, but it is still at its beginning. And this is where we need to join forces. So no problem.
In the meantime, our newest member is already here. Hello, welcome, Johannes Treiber. What was your biggest incentive to join the TPRC?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for inviting us here to this call. It is, I think we have heard a couple of examples already, but in reality, it's the combination of, first of all, having an institute which is really deeply rooted in the historic scientific research in internal plastics, but then the very strong network, the supply chain. We have literally the full supply chain with somewhat of a focus on aerospace, but not solely to aerospace, from material supplier to the OEM. Which are all working really pre-competitively together. That means we have all a consensus of where we want to drive technologies, and Winand said this, and the colleague said this before, that we have a joint consensus of really driving core technologies which are crucial in terms of automation, in terms of understanding this beyond individuals materials, to drive this into industry, to make it a success. And that's really the combination which we see so valuable in the center.
We talked about having access to the network. Is that also something that you experienced? And can you give an example of that?
Yeah, thanks, Ali. It starts very simply already with the technical advisory board meetings, which were mentioned in your video earlier on. Having 100 technical experts of each company in such a call or in a meeting. Right now, it's unfortunately just calls, but joining, discussing for a couple of days between the companies, but also with the researchers. And in addition, industry research groups or recommendation groups exchange the students reaching out to the different companies, to different experts, exchanging ideas, and then really driving the research to a very much applied research. That means that whatever comes out of the center right now is directly targeted at the problems which are really core to us all. So that's a technical advice board meetings I would take is really a typical example where it's great to see the network coming together and working together.